Hello guys, welcome to today's video. In this video, we are going to talk about how working professionals can crack consulting interviews. Okay, so this is not about how you can apply from your undergrad or your business school. This is primarily about how do you apply with 2, 3, 4 or like even 1 year of work experience. Okay, and I'm going to talk about 3 or 4 super specific and targeted things that you can actually take away today and start applying from tomorrow. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is how do you do your research? Yes, you have a few years of experience and you have decided to apply for these firms, but where do you start your research? Okay, the first thing that you need to do is go on to McKinsey, BCG, Bain, A.T. Kearney, any of these websites, and then immediately start off with, if you are a finance professional, or if you are a marketing professional, or if you are let's say analytics or any of these professionals, go search for each one of these industries and functions and see where are you a good fit. There has to be a fit. If you are a working professional, fit makes a lot of difference. So I was an analytics guy before I joined McKinsey. I had 4 years of experience in analytics. So what I did was I went through the website and realized that there is a lot of analytics work going on in the marketing and sales practice. So I opened the website, I read through what they are doing, and accordingly I started my application with the marketing and sales practice. Now, if you are let's say a software engineer, or if you are SAP implementation engineer, or if you're an AI engineer, for any of these roles, all you need to do is probably go to McKinsey Digital, all right, or Bain Digital or BCG Digital, and understand what is the kind of work these guys are doing. So the first step is all about research. What is the work that these guys are doing, and is it overlapping with the work that I am doing right now? That's the first step of the research. Now moving on, you need to check out which offices actually do this kind of work. This is going to be super interesting, right? For example, if you are an oil and gas professional, you know that a lot of oil and gas work happens in the Middle East. Probably applying to Dubai office, even if you are sitting in India, is not a bad option at all, because those guys are always looking for ONG professionals. Okay, if you are having some expertise in mining, if you are having some experience in telecom, probably ruling out Australia is not a good thing. So what I'm saying is, if international offices are some places where you are excited to go and work, please do research about those things as well, because a few offices are always looking for a few specific sets of talent. Don't ignore Southeast Asia. Don't ignore Middle East. Don't even ignore Australia. All right. Even if you are sitting in India, these are some of the potential options. Now you might say that, I'm an oil and gas professional. There is a lot of work that is happening in the US, Texas area all the time. Probably not a good idea. US offices don't recruit from India or any other offices or any other parts of the world through off campus. Okay, so please check out which offices within the 3 or 4 geographies that I have mentioned that you have a good fit with. Now that you know which offices and where there is some kind of overlap, the next thing that you need to understand is exactly the kind of work you are actually expected to do as a consultant. Now, how do you figure that out? If you go, for example, into marketing and sales practice website. Okay, let me take you through that. So here we are on the McKinsey website, and what you can do is click on functions and go to marketing and sales. Once you are in this marketing and sales, you will understand what you are going to do if you click on how these guys are helping clients. For example, you will be doing work in any of these specific categories. It could be the branding, digital marketing, pricing, so on and so forth. Now, what you need to do is check out whether you are actually doing any of this work in your current job. Are you into calculating marketing return on investment? Okay. If you are doing that, then that is a great fit. If you are not doing that, see if you can probably add some of these kind of projects into your portfolio and then apply. No point in applying if there is no fit over here. Moving on, we should figure out what are some of the articles that these guys are writing. So this helps with networking. So jumping into the second chapter, that is targeted networking. Now, go into any one of these articles. You will see this is common for every single consulting website, guys. Okay. You go there, you understand, okay, what is this article about? All that is good, but the point that I want to make about is who is writing these articles. Okay. Warren Davis, Ryan Gavin, Wilson McCrory. What you need to do is go and see what these guys are, what these guys' roles are in LinkedIn. If you find some of these guys to be associates, well, I was an associate myself, and I used to assist senior partners, directors in writing a lot of these kind of articles. So my name is there on some of these articles. If you can read these kind of material and message that associate that, hey, Pawan, by the way, I loved the article that you authored on McKinsey.com, and I am also extremely interested in this space. I have worked in this space. I could relate to what you are saying in this particular article. Can we have a quick 5 to 10 minute conversation about that? That is called as targeted and super focused networking. Guys, if you have some work experience and if you are looking forward to apply through these kind of channels, networking or directly applying on the website, these are the people that you need to reach out to. Go and read. There are so many articles, and every article is written by 2 or 3 folks, and one of them is going to be an associate or a business analyst, right? Because senior partners or directors wouldn't have that kind of time to prepare charts, reports, and all that stuff. So you can go on the websites, read who is doing what, and finally start targeting these folks independently. If you are applying to Indian offices, there are, for example, Bain has a Bain India website, and there are a lot of articles written by folks sitting in India, and you can start reaching out to them. This is called as targeted networking. No other networking kind can beat this super focused kind of networking. Now that you know how to do research, now that you know whom to contact to, the next thing is you actually starting your preparation, with the first step being writing your resume in the best possible way. Correct? So consulting companies love to read about what you do, also at the same time what was the potential impact. So please combine in every single bullet point, hey, this is X that I have done and this is Y the impact. If you can show it in every single bullet, and if what you have done matches with what is being done in these companies today, nothing like that, okay, you will get a call. Now, how do you convert that call is the next question that we are going to tackle. But first things first, your resume has to be in this form of what you have done and impact. Every single bullet point follow the exact same format. If you have this kind of a match, your undergrad GPA or your master's GPA takes a backseat. Your experience will help get your resume picked up, nothing else. After the resume stage, you start going and preparing for your interviews, but there is something critical in between, that is getting to knowing the interview process. The interview process for experienced individuals is little different compared to interview process of a regular full-time MBA guy or an undergrad guy. Now, what are the differences? Well, I can share a few. That is, hey, the interviews are probably more resume focused. You are drilled down more into the projects that you have done. Your case interviews could also be revolving around the industry that you have come from, or it could be around the functions that you have come from, right? So these are some of the ways in which interviews could be different. You might have the problem solving game test, or you might not have the problem solving gaming test. On top of these differences, there is absolutely nothing wrong if you ask the HR person that, hey, what can I expect in my interviews? Will I have a particular round? Won't I have? If you are not assigned a buddy, if you are not comfortable with case practice, please ask the recruiter that, hey, yes, can I get a case partner? I want to practice cases, and naturally I'm not in a position to talk about this entire recruitment process in my current firm. So if you don't mind, can you please allocate me a case partner, and I would love to get some practice and be fully prepared for these interviews, right? You can actually use these words, and HR professionals, recruiters from these consulting companies want you to succeed. I've told this multiple times. These interviews are geared towards you giving your best of the best. So these guys will help you out. Once you have the support from these guys, start talking to the associate. Understand the work that these guys are doing. Then ask the recruiter, who are the 3 or 4 professionals who are going to actually interview me. Get their names, do some LinkedIn research, and more importantly, see what are the articles that they have written. You can talk about these articles, or these questions that these guys are going to ask might be related to the work they are doing, and these articles are already giving you hints about that. So please do your targeted networking and be prepared for the interviews as well along the same lines. Ask these case buddies, ask these recruiters, they are going to help you out. No questions about that. Once you are along the way and you are getting closer to that interview date, of course, there will be a lot of nerves. You are probably going to screw up a few things in the interview. That is all fine. But you need to believe the fact that you are going to crack this interview, and that is when you are going to give your best. Okay? So don't be tensed, and please don't underestimate the importance of behavioral interviews. I'm linking a video out here, somewhere over here. Please go check out what is happening in these interviews, and that will be helpful in preparing for behavioral interviews, plus your case partners, your case buddies, or cases on cases over coffee. Any of these things will help you prepare for the case interview. Now, a combination of these things and understanding the work that these guys are doing and having thorough research into your own resume. I'm not talking about any other kind of work that these guys are doing, but hey, understanding your own resume to the best of your abilities will be super helpful. Please be comfortable to go into the depth of like, hey, what exactly happened in that project? Why did you do that? What were the other alternatives that you have considered? Any other scenarios that you want to explain? Please be ready to do all of that stuff. All you need to do is basically go through all these potential steps. Now, let's summarize this once again. The first step, understand what each one of these industry verticals are doing. See where is the fit. The second thing, super interesting, do targeted networking. I told you how to do targeted networking. The third thing, make sure that you have impact on your resume. Number 4, ask the recruiters that, hey, I want a case partner. I want to learn more about the process. Will I have a problem solving test or no? Okay, these kind of questions. Moving on, the exact interview date, don't please ignore your behavioral interviews. These carry equal weights. Once you do that, all of these things, rest, I'm sure you will give your best of your abilities. And yes, I hope you will crack that interview. Thank you so much, guys, and look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Thank you.